Hey everybody, it's Cauliflower Man here, bringing you another gameplay of Battleborn. In this game, I am Shane and Aurox. I guess two characters in one. I am on the map Overgrowth. It's the game type Incursion, and I'm going to show you how to use Shane really effectively. Look in the bottom left of my screen. My shield was at 840 before I did that, or before I attacked this thrall. 840 shield. That's more than the starting health of certain characters. I think Benedict has around 840 health to start with, and that's just what your shield will be as Shane at level 8, I guess. I don't think the shield goes up, so it just stays at 840, but that's kind of incredible. That's a huge amount of shield just to be walking around with, and you get all that from his skills. You also get a shield recharge rate of 165 seconds, and because one of his skills is invisibility, when you use invisibility, if you're invisible for the full period, your shield starts recharging, and it'll get back to about 300 by the time your stealth strike is over. As you can see, you can get quite far into the enemy side if you use it. And right here, I'm just trying to get behind the enemy lines and do kind of a sneak flank attack. I see that we've got 2 people dead, so I really wanted that Galt to try and run the other way when he ran out of that ultimate so he'd get more damage, but it didn't work. But he starts running away, and my Thumper's slowing people behind me, so I follow him. I stun him with my fetch, and then I'm just able to body block him, and by the time he starts attacking me, I've got so much shield, he won't even touch my health, and I'm able to get that kill. I go straight for this supply station. I wanted to go for the supply station because I didn't want them to heal up. And then I use my stealth like I'm running out of there, but I saw that kid was weak, so I want to come back and attack him. So when I come out of stealth strike, I use that extra slow, and I'm able to put on, almost 90% of the damage before the slow is gone. By the time the slow is gone, I'm able to stun that Deande. She starts trying to sort of get out of there, and I end up buying that Thumper just to get that slow back on these characters. The slow is huge for making enemy characters easy to hit, especially if you're melee, just so you can get into range. And then if you're not melee, they're just so slow, they're so easy to hit. Your accuracy just goes way up when you're attacking a slowed character. So always buy that Thumper real quick. As you can see, I've just been buying that Thumper up to level 1, and since my little flank at the start when it was a 3v5 because we had 2 people down, we've taken out like 4 or 5 of the enemy team. Now we have full control. So we shouldn't have pushed there, but we were able to just because Shane's got so much shield, and every time I get in trouble I use my stealth or my fetch. That'll either make me invisible and get my shield recharge once it's over, or give me an overshield in the case of fetch, as well as stun an enemy and then get my shield recharge. So Shane's all about survivability. Right here I push way far, but because I've got the invisibility, I just hit that and run out of there, and by the time I'm gone, my shield's already back up at 800 something, so I actually go back in and do a little damage, even though I really probably shouldn't. But with Shane, you can kind of pull off some of that stuff. He's a real good character if you like to play very aggressive, just because he's got so much defensive capabilities. It's kind of backwards thinking. You'd think if you're really aggressive, you want someone with a lot of offensive capability, and Shane does have decent offensive capability, but because he's so hard to kill and all of his skills recharge his shield and generally have defensive uses, you can play super aggressive with him because even if you're playing aggressive, it doesn't really put you in a bad situation. It's hard to get in a bad situation with Shane, so that's why I really like him. At first, I thought I really wouldn't because he's not all that offensive, but his survivability just means that you can almost push constantly with this, with him, or using him as a character. Right here, I just fall down into the sentry here. As you can see, we're doing quite a bit of damage. As soon as my shield's gone, I use my camo. My shield starts coming back up as soon as I get out of that camo, but I was getting attacked, so I don't get any bonus from it, so I decide to just run. I missed with that fetch, and then I just run away and try to regroup. I get up with my minions here. One good thing about the minions, if you just stand with it till you get the overshield and then start attacking, that overshield that Shepherd gives out is pretty big. It's like over 400. It's really good, especially with someone who has a shield as big as Shane. And the thing that I really like about Shane is not only does he have a big shield, not only does he have all these defensive attributes, but things like his cloak, when you come out of it, it slows people, and that gives you a lot of offensive capabilities. And then something like his fetch, it pulls people out of using skills. That Deande was going to ult me, but I used fetch on her, and so then instead of her getting that ult on me, I get an overshield, and my shield starts recharging. So that's really the way you want to play Shane. That's really how you want to do a lot of damage. But let's look at this next video. So in this second video here, I've got a little bit more team help, and the you'll be able to see how when you have a team to work around, how you're able to pick people out. And the first person you're going to notice who I focus on is the enemy team's Miko. And in this game too, I'm not using the stun on fetch, I'm using the pull all enemies that it moves through. And then like right here, I saw this Wrath, so I try and focus him to start with. The problem with Wrath is he can hit you when you're behind him, so you got to be careful, but we're able to take him down. I'm a little bit weak, so I got to be a little bit careful, but like I said, Shane's got a huge shield, so that's really what protects you most of the time. Just watch that shield. When the shield's down, then back out of there or use one of your skills. I don't have the shield recharge yet on my skills, or at the conclusion of my skills, so a lot of times what I do is I wait and I use the stealth strike, and then I'll let the stealth strike go through its entire skill, let the entire timer run down before emerging from it. That way my shield will start to recharge before I'm out of it. I really like to do that just to ensure I get my shield back. And then like I said, when you got a full team there, focus the most critical characters on the other team. And right now this Miko, he's a small character, so I can kill him real quick, and then when I put my slow on him, I'm able to do it. And then the person he was healing wasn't able to do enough damage to me as Shane before I killed the Miko. So now they're down a healer, and we're starting to take out the rest of the team, and so now it's time for us to make a push. And I'm getting close to level 5. I'm going to unlock my ultimate. Shane's ultimate does real good area of effect damage. It's great to do on minion waves. The one thing to remember with it is when you use it, you don't have Shane with you anymore, so you deal less damage with your melee attacks and whatnot. You do get the fleet foot bonus. I think that gives you a speed bonus when Shane's not on your back, or whatever you want to call it. And then right here, as soon as we take out that sentry, I'm looking for my next target, and then Miko just walks right in front of me, and so I go straight for him. I slow him down, and then I just start attacking the crap out of him. He must not have seen me or something. He really should have gotten out of there. And then I go on those minions for a little bit, soak up a bit of damage with my shield. Then once I'm behind this minion, I'm hitting its critical spot, which is right in that the cone on the top of the back of its back that almost looks like a little rocket sort of propulsion sort of thing, I don't know. But then after getting that minion, it's straight onto this Wrath. He's pretty weak, so I'm just trying to make sure to body block him and get somebody's attention. Then Thorn ults him and kills him. And like I said, Shane's ultimate is great to use on minion waves, so I use it on this minion wave right here. And then I just back up and use my range attack. I use the range attack just to do a bit of damage without putting myself at risk, especially because his melee, Shane's melee, when you use his ultimate, is quite a bit reduced. And then I use my stealth to get behind him, and as you can see, as long as you can keep the enemy from hitting you right after that stealth strike, you can sometimes get your shield back to full, because that Caldarius was shooting at me, but I made him miss enough, so I got my shield back to full, even though he could have, you know, hit it down and ruined my shield recharge. And then I just get back up to this Miko here. I want to keep focusing that Miko. Their Montana is never going to get anywhere without a Miko. I miss the fetch, but I get fleet foot when I miss the fetch, so I'm running faster, and then I catch up to him, and he tries to heal his Arendi, but Shane's just got too much damage to try and eat through, so his Arendi's not able to do anything. And my team's not doing that well right now, so I have to keep backing up. I'm getting kills along the way. It looks like they killed off that Montana. Montana must have thought he had a Miko to heal him, but he didn't. And then these guys start pushing way too hard. That Milka gets a great ult on that Wrath after I slowed that Wrath. I use my ultimate on these minions right here. Finish off that minion wave. Make a bit of room for our minion wave to push through. And so now it looks like we're going to start getting map control. Our elite bot's about to go down, but they don't have any bots out there, and they're down one character right now, so we've got the man advantage, and it looks like I'm going to get this kill on this Arendi right here. Like I said, Shane's great for small, squishy characters. He's got enough health that they can't kill you, but you can kill them. You don't do huge damage, but you do enough that when you pair it with a slow from his stealth strike, they're really going to have a lot of trouble getting away. Just remember to always use his skills to get that shield recharge. As you can see, when I use my fetch, my shield recharges, and that overshield and the full shield that I have is 820 total. And then right here, I just body block this Shane. Learn to body block if you're going to do Shane. That's one of his top moves. Any melee character, you got to learn to body block. As you can see, my stats are pretty good right there. Alright, so here is the next video here. of me playing as Shane. This is the same game as the last video. I'm a little bit higher level. The game plan is still the same. You'll notice a lot of the time what I do is I stealth strike in and I'll attack that Miko and do quite a bit of damage to him. The one thing I really want you guys to pay attention to is just how much damage I will take, but we don't even have a healer this game. The enemy team's got their Miko Montana combo for their tank. I'm just a Shane all my lonesome with no healer, but because I've got all this shield recharge, every time my shield gets low, I just use a skill, and then I get my shield back. So it's just basically like an instant heal of 600, but it's an instant heal of 600 for my shields. So I guess it's not technically a heal, but I think of it almost like a heal. And if you think of it that way, no other character can do an instant, or not instant because it has to recharge, but can heal 600 that quickly. It works with all my skills. I get that shield recharge. No other healer can really match that. Obviously a lot of the time I don't need it, just because I don't have shield damage or whatnot, but you'll notice at the end of this game I have by far the most damage taken. Their Montana has something like 36,000 damage taken. I'll have 48,000, and that's not a whole lot for a full game. Obviously this isn't a full game, we're only at 15 minutes, but it's quite a lot for not having a healer, and I took all that damage and I only have 2 deaths. And as you can see, I really didn't teleport all that much, or at least not in these videos, not in these clips. And like right there, that Wrath attacks me when I have no shield, and then he comes after me, uses his ultimate. I barely take any health, then I come after him, and by the time I do my attack, my shield's back. I'm basically at full health, so he does all that work and he gets absolutely nowhere. Whereas I do something like that, and now I'm beating him in terms of total damage, even though he's probably done 3 times as much damage to me. And then always use that ultimate. I think I said this before, but always use that ultimate on enemy minions, and the ultimate's a skill too, so that gets your shield recharging just like anything else. So always remember that. And then I focus this called Darius a little bit here, just because I thought I could really get this kill, and I try and use a fetch on him up here, but I end up missing. But then it's just back to the good old bread and butter, and try and really focus that Miko. That Miko's really who you want to go after. Obviously he heals everybody, so once you kill him, then everybody else gets a lot easier to kill. And it looks like our Melka does a real good job with that slow right there, and then the Melka finishes it off. I'm not sure what Miko is. It's fungus. I don't know if they really have gender, but anyways, then I go right back to getting some kills here. I focus at Arendi. Arendi is a great character to counter with Shane. Shane's a great counter to Arendi, I guess I should say. That is a better way to say it, that's less confusing. But Shane's shield is high enough that he can almost eat her ultimate without taking too much damage. He's got his stealth, so if she uses her ultimate, he can stealth away and make it so that she misses, and then he can also use his fetch to stun her or pull her, and that pulls her out of using her ultimate. And then with the slow from his stealth strike, he can do quite a lot of damage on her. Already doesn't have much damage, or she doesn't have much health, so it takes just a little bit of damage to really kill her. And so Shane's a great counter to an Arendi. Other counters can be something like Isaac or someone with a shield, different things like that, but Shane just is a good counter. Just because Arendi isn't all that effective on somebody with a huge shield and somebody with as many defensive attributes as Shane. Then this video, I guess, here is kind of winding up. The one thing I want you guys all to remember is once you hit level 10, you're going to get a 35% lifesteal on Shane's ultimate, and that 35% lifesteal, I don't think I get it in this video, but when you throw that down on a minion wave, you can heal yourself back up almost to full health if the minion wave doesn't have an overshield. So that makes Shane super hard to kill. And then so a level 10 Shane, as you can see, before level 10 he doesn't need much healing, but once you hit level 10 and you take that life steal, he doesn't need any healing. So just always remember, when you're playing Shane, play him to keep that shield recharging as much as possible, and then if you can keep the game going on for long enough that you hit level 10, you're really going to have a hard time dying, so the enemy team's really going to have a lot of trouble with you, and that's really how you want to play him. And that's how you want to use Shane, as basically a tank that doesn't need a healer, and that really opens up your team, especially in a game that's based on teamwork, where you all know that you're not going to get that many support that are very good support. So Shane's a good tank to throw into your rotation, just because you don't have to worry about other players doing their job.